Capturing and validating invoices using the Basware Cloudscan application is very straightforward. You have a number of options to actually get the invoices into the system. We have the traditional scan method, which looks for an attached scanner, or we can actually import via a file. If you select via the file import option, it actually allows you to then go and look for the files in your local folders. Once you've located the location of the PDF invoices that you've received and want to capture, you just simply select the ones you want to bring in and click the Open button. That will import the files and allow you to have a look at them before you actually try and do any OCR extraction. So here we can see that I've brought in 3 invoices and I've highlighted the first of 3 on the right hand side. If there was any issues with the image quality, we could amend and provide some post-scanning corrections to the invoice image, for example like removing hole punches, removing borders, removing any noise off the invoice image if it's been scanned. So if it's an unclear image, we can tidy that up to give the OCR the best possible extraction chances. So all we need to do now is to send it to the validation service and the capture service. So we click send and it asks me to confirm that I wish to send them. Say OK to that, and now all 3 invoices have now been sent to the cloud. Now because I've got this set up for self-validation, those 3 invoices will have an extraction level done on them, but it will send them back to me to finally confirm or correct any issues. And I do this by clicking the Validate tab. When I go into validation, it will bring back those 3 invoices for me, and it will highlight any issues or errors. So in this case, the first invoice appears to have been captured 100% correct. We can just check all the amounts. We can highlight any of the images and data. And if we select one of the fields on the left hand side, it can show us where that image, that data was actually captured from. For example, the IBAN number down here, the VAT registration number there, the invoice number was captured from there. And as you can see, this is a Swedish invoice. Doesn't matter, it copes with around 12 different languages, and it's looking for keywords such as the word faktura, which is invoice in Swedish. This looks okay to me, so I can actually just click send on this one, and that will take us through to the next one. Now on the next one, we can see that there's a problem. The field's been highlighted in red, which shows me that there's a problem with this invoice and it cannot identify where these amounts are coming from. So all I need to do is to highlight the field I want to capture, and where it says net total, what we need to do then is to lasso the amount. Then we can right click and paste the amount in, and that then cuts and pastes that in. Now in this case, because it's expecting it in a European format, it's put in the comma instead of a full stop, so I can just correct that simply. And what it does then is it calculates the VAT for me. And in this case, what's happened is it's also captured the gross incorrectly. So what I'll do is I'll just correct that. It's taking the gross from up there. So what I'll do is I'll just mark this field here. And I'll say this is the gross. Get rid of the original gross. There we go. So now we can see here it's actually 2,830. And the VAT now self-calculates. So it does that, and it actually rounds it up because there's an error in this invoice in that the VAT amount doesn't add up to the net and therefore the gross. There's also a small rounding percentage there. So we can choose how to split that out, but this is how you amend those fields. Now because I've corrected these mandatory fields, which are highlighted with a red asterisk, what's going to happen is the next time the system sees this invoice, it will remember my correction and not look up here for the gross amount, but it will actually look down here for the gross amount because I've corrected it. And that's how the system learns as it processes these invoices through. So I can actually send that invoice now, and that one's okay. And then the final one of the 3, everything looks okay on this one. If I did want to correct anything or add any information, I could do that just by keying in, but the OCR seems to have been fairly successful on this particular invoice as well. So I just click send, and that's all 3 invoices now sent for processing in the host ERP system. Once the invoice has been captured and sent from the Cloudscan application, it will be routed through the Basware network and appear in the P2P system. Here it is in invoice ready. So if we log in, we can then go in and have a look at our purchase invoices, and we can see the invoice here which we've just processed, one of the three. If we just open that up, we can see now the invoice image and all of the associated data that was captured automatically. This is actually ready for sending out for review and approval now.